Here we are, week 4 of being banned from Twitter.
Nice.
Still no response.
You're still in trouble?
I don't even know what for. Oh, Chris is gonna sing for us today. Oh, it's actually technically still 8 o'clock on my.
Oh.
Dang it! I shouldn't have let him in the room and be like, "Sorry, Chris."
I love how he's changed his name.
He goes through a lot of transitions in life.
Yep, it happens.
Who is Chris? He doesn't know. One day he's a lumberjack. The other day he's amazing.
I think it would be cool if he picked all of the famous Chris's out in the world, and then every week he titled it Chris parentheses not
Chris Hemsworth.
Christopherson.
Chris
Chris
Evans.
Parentheses not Hemsworth. Right? Just roll through them all, so we know.
I know that's
who
like
we're
a
working with
Barney
eventually.
Stinson thing.
Yeah.
With the interjections in between. What is that? Like a conjunction? A very elaborate conjunction?
Yep.
It's gonna be legend. Just wait for it. I hope you're not lactose intolerant because it's gonna be dairy. Oh man. Good
Happy
times.
Friday,
Good times. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our team-oriented art, our home team, live, good, bad, ugly team. I'm just gonna say team a whole bunch of times. Team stuff to the team and team. So, but seriously, we just get together and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of running a team, building a team. There were 3 people on and immediately 2 left. They're like, nope, that was not funny. I'm out. This is not what I signed up for. It's okay. It's not the first time. And it won't be the last. That's for sure. So, we got I'm here. Is this Chris?
I bet
Nope.
that's Kim.
My next guess was Kim, but Chris's video isn't on, so I was like, maybe he has his.
It was like a Brad.
Open.
I'm gonna say that's Brad.
Well, it might be Brad because we were just talking to Brad. So I'm here. Let's see. Where are they watching from? Real estate success strategies.
Ding, ding, ding.
Brad V. See, I only know Brad Vanderwall, not Brad V. So you're wrong, Walt. Sorry. Anyway, let's do that thing where we talk about the things. I think everybody but oh no, Irene, you did it. You did the form. I'm so proud of you.
I did. It was late last night, but I did do it.
I think everybody did theirs. Did everybody do one?
Nice.
Guys, you're like, wait, but is Chris's actually Chris's? That's what we need to know.
Uh-oh.
No, it's a
I
lie.
did my own this week, so I think
I
Chris
haven't
was
looked
probably-
yet. I just assumed it wasn't actually Chris.
Chris paid his VA to do it.
That's a good idea.
That is a good
Just put
idea,
something on there.
actually. He just sends him a voice memo and says, fill out the form. That's brilliant. Man, I'm going to
Leverage.
doing that. I'm definitely, literally, I'm going to do that. Thank you.
I would have to figure out how to send a voice memo first.
Oh, gosh.
Goodness gracious.
Moving on. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and start with Chris and get this done with? Chris, what's one problem issue you faced with the team this week?
Everybody wants to call me while I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
How'd you fix the
Leadership
problem?
101. Yeah.
Oh, I see. You got a little pixelator on your phone so that your signal was always going out. Brilliant. I don't know if he's actually going to be able to answer because seriously, he cut out. All right, I'll read it off for him. He said he started telling more people no or to schedule for next week. That's huge.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
huge.
full sentence right there. No. Period.
I always ask, is it an emergency? No. Okay.
You there?
Awesome. Oh, wait, is he back? There he is.
I'm back.
You're back. Sounds like you're in a building now.
I am in the building.
Did you stop at a porta potty?
No, we're still at the house.
So, Chris, I was reading off what you said about how you're fixing the problem.
Yep. I'm no longer. I'm quit. I'm stopping agreeing to meetings while I'm on vacation.
Proud of you, man.
Except for with
Congratulations.
I'm gonna start telling everybody no.
Good.
Take my
Good.
vacation. I'm gonna take less meetings. Even though I agreed to the one this morning, made that work. But yeah, and I'm here for this one. But I'm literally sorry. I'm packing up to leave the house while I'm here or while I'm on this meeting.
Well, let the record show one of the other meetings Chris had this week, all of us tried to tell Chris not to do on vacation.
It wasn't so bad that I had that meeting. It's the fact that I was on phone calls, taking care of transactions and everything else leading up to that meeting. So literally from like 7 a.m. until we were done with that meeting, I was on the phone.
Ooh,
Oh no.
that's nasty. Not good.
Yeah. So
Good.
that's what adds up. It was
Absolutely.
it was everything. I was on the phone the entire time and
Yeah.
taking stuff. I was literally
Nasty.
had clients at a closing table. And I was literally writing up docs to add to it as I was going out the door to go to the beach too. Like it was just one of those days.
So, your issue was basically just too many people coming in on family/vacation time. Your solution was the omnipresent, powerful word no, which is huge. And I think all of us, anybody watching, tell us how hard it is for you to say no. Brad, don't answer that because
Easiest
you'll
thing in the
probably
world.
be like, I don't
No.
care. No. I look in the mirror. I look at myself. I say, nope, not today. But seriously, how hard it is for you to say no? Because I know for a fact with the amount of agents that we work with, talk to, coach, man, no is really hard. No to themselves about wanting to take on more, telling themselves they're going to do something they're not going to do when it'd be better for them to just say, no, I'm not going to do that. It's not going to happen. Saying no to clients, saying no to other agents, saying no to other distractions, saying no to things that are not healthy or good for them, or just getting some balance is an emergency. Can we do this tomorrow morning? We always, I think a lot of us in real estate feel like everything's urgent all the time. Everything's urgent all the time. And the problem with that is that if everything's urgent all the time, then the things that are actually urgent won't get the care and attention they need.
Yep. A
Yep.
little balance and little boundaries goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's a great book out there for any agents that are listening that struggle with being able to say no or prioritize their boundaries. Dr. Henry Cloud, the name of the book, Boundaries.
Last name's
It's a
Cloud.
wonderful book. Dr. Henry Cloud.
What a great last name. Especially for a doctor. That's dope. That's awesome. Hannah Showalter nuggets with being able to say no. Is that a book or an author or a speaker? Hannah Showalter. Anybody know who that is? Showalter.
I've heard the name Showalter. I'd have to look it up and see why I know the
Oh,
name.
I think you pronounce it Showalter.
No.
Get it, Showalter.
Yeah. I see what you're trying. That's an actual last name of an author.
We got dad jokes this morning. So.
You're welcome. Those are free. I will take credit, but I prefer cash.
Dad jokes. Here we go. You know, being in Florida, I was going to cook an alligator last night for dinner, but then I realized I only had a crock pot.
I
Oh,
was like, where's he going with this?
word.
Because in Florida, they do eat alligators. So, all right, Chris, what are some of your favorite moments of the week?
I think the new moment just happened there. The crock pot joke, man, that trumps everything that happened this week.
Brilliant.
Favorite moment of the week. I don't remember what I wrote down.
All current listings went under contract
Except for one. Yep. Yeah,
That's a good one.
it. Yeah, so all the listings, they're under contract. Got one that's it's a little overpriced for its very small one main bathroom. That's I keep running into. So don't know if that one's going to go or not because my seller, imagine this, won't reduce the price. But
Wow.
yeah,
It's
I
a
know,
struggle.
right? Imagine that.
And 9 times out of 10, that same person, when they go to buy, is upset when that seller won't reduce the price. It's a vicious cycle, right?
These particular people are going to live on a houseboat, so they're not buying anything.
Okay.
Well, fine, Chris. Way to ruin the moment.
Sorry.
It's okay.
That's why
Well,
they don't.
Chris-
That's why they don't care. They're not in a hurry to sell because they're like, that's fine. We live on our houseboat most of the time, and whatever.
That works. That works. All right.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm proud of you for actually filling out the form with real answers.
You're welcome.
You know, it just
Stepping up in the world.
you really are. Walter, what's one problem issue you face with the team this week?
Oh man, I wrote it down, but it's not even really a problem. But agents trying to build their business and implement new strategies, and it's on getting them in the right direction. That was a problem because they needed the guidance on getting them moving in the right direction. But I wouldn't call it a problem because agents are actively trying to build their business and take from what we're teaching them and put it into action. So that's pretty cool.
I think that's awesome. So, what are you doing to help fix
Just
alleviate?
directed them to one of the gazillion resources that we offer so that they could see
We
it
have
for
resources?
themselves. Because we had already literally recorded a video breaking it down, and I said, "I got you. Take 15 minutes and watch this video, and then hit me back up with any questions after you see it." Resources, they're a wonderful thing.
I love it. I love it. Give me some favorite moments. I feel like I already know. I see the form, but I already knew what you were going to say.
I'll tell you what, read off the form, and then I'll find a different answer.
All right.
Just for fun.
The Carbon Club EXPCon Hawaiian shirts.
Yes.
Custom made, branded Hawaiian shirts from the legendary Hawaiian connoisseur, Walter Key.
That's a hard one to top, honestly, but I said I would try. So the other favorite thing about the week is I'm going to go back to the problem. Agents are actually taking the training and the strategies we're giving them and implementing them, and they're killing it. They're actually growing their business because they're listening and they're executing. Everyone who knows me knows, like, you can learn something all day long, but if you're not going to execute, you're wasting your time and you're wasting ours. We have agents that are willing to go execute and grow their business. It's pretty awesome.
I love it. Couldn't agree more, man. It's I'm seeing a lot of growth, and it pumps me up to see that. All right, let's do Catherine. What's one problem issue you face with the team this week?
I would say mine would be actually, since I'm more of kind of a third party helping with the team on the outside, would be just noticing the need to update some team rules of accountability and making sure that we're setting some new standards as we continue to grow and fail forward with the team.
I entirely agree with you, and one of the things I love about you is having that outside perspective. And for anybody who doesn't have people around you who are not emotionally tied and financially tied, helping you to look from the outside in at your business, you're missing out on a wonderful perspective. Because if you financially gain from it, you're biased. If you're emotionally gain from it or lose from it, you're biased. But if you really don't have either on the line, you're able to be more objective. And so that's one of the best things that Catherine brings to the table is she's very objective and wonderfully honest. She's not there to sugarcoat anything. She's there to help with a wonderful, like I said, I keep saying the word wonderful, perspective. So Catherine, what are you doing to kind of help solve that issue?
Oh, so I was able to get everybody together last minute and then schedule a meeting so that we could actually sit down, have a conversation, do some brainstorming, and look at where there are areas that can stay that have been great on the team, and then areas that we can now improve on since we've seen what has been working and what hasn't, and we're currently working on that form now.
Love it. That is awesome. So then let's go on to what are some of your favorite moments of the week?
Oh, so I have to say that I think my favorite moment was I was able to be a part of the Carbon Club meeting, which sometimes I get busy, so I'm not able to. And I got to listen to Paul Conti, which was fan-freaking-tastic. love listening to Italian people anyway. But it was amazing to hear what he had to say. And not only that, I think my favorite part was the fact that the agents that were involved in it were already starting to figure out how they could put that plan into action as soon as we got off that call.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to see people actually taking that golden nugget that they got and figuring out how they could make a plan of action.
Man, I couldn't agree more. Paul brought fire. And you know what's so funny? I got to say this because it's an example of those who want to learn and actually grow and those who say they do but don't. Paul came in. I'm going to say a couple of things. Paul, if you're listening, you already know this because you and I talk about this. We're both loud people. We're loud people. We're passionate people. And we can come across as abrasive or intense or whatever word someone wants to label us. At the end of the day, we're genuine, we're sincere, and we're backed by data and facts. We're not saying something, just randomly. Paul brought a proven, tried and true strategy to help agents get more listings. Some agents after the call said, I need this in my life, and started taking action. Other agents go, well, the message was nice, but he was a little loud. The message was nice, but it was a little intense for me. I'm like, what are you doing right now? Slap yourself in the face. What are you doing right now? Someone just took time out of their day to give you a tried and true proven strategy to help you. Then on top of that, they said, not only am I going to show you the strategy, I'll help you execute the strategy. I'll coach you. I'll train you. I'll even get on a call with some of these people if you want me to. And your response is, just wasn't feeling it. Get out of here. You are never going to grow with that mentality. You are never going to succeed if you can't stand. And how are you going to work with others? There's always going to be someone who's too loud, too quiet. I mean, there's people who complain about people who are average. Man, what do you want? What do you want then? I don't understand. I got clients who are loud. I got clients who are quiet. I got some who have good communication and are great at texting and phone calls or Facebook Messenger. I have some that are like, man, only email me. And it'll take them 24 hours to respond. People are going to be different. Like, nobody's saying you have to adopt their personality. You don't have to be them. Just learn to work with them. So I agree with you. Paul came in, he crushed it. I just thought it was, you were talking about action, and I had to say like that counterpart of like those who came in received so much blessing and benefit, and they walked away with excuses and lack of gratitude. And it's like, why even mention it? That's the other thing. Like, you can be like, it was awesome, but they were. Why say it? What value? What's that gonna do for your mentality when you turn around and you find an irrelevant reason to bring up? And that's human nature. We always have to find a flaw. Always. They're an amazing
Our DNA.
Yeah, but that one time at a concert, they didn't give the fan a kiss on the lips. Like people will find any flaw that they can. Nothing can just be good. Nothing can be valuable. It has to have a flaw. It's amazing. But I agree. Paul was amazing. Irene, let's go, girl. What you got? One problem issue you faced with the team this week.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I put 2 of them on there. And I'm fixing to add a third one. I know it was not getting completed documents. That seems to be a huge issue with everybody. I cannot seem to get agents to complete their docs still.
That blows
And
my
then
mind. Is it Chris
updating
still?
me.
Just kidding. I know it's not Chris.
No, it's definitely not Chris. No. And then updating me along the transaction on things that are going on. So if something changes, something gets pushed, being able to keep up with things. They're
Can
not
you give
keeping
a couple
us up to
examples
date.
for anybody listening from a TC perspective? Can you give a couple examples of like, here's what happened. They should have updated me on this specific thing.
Yeah. So like an inspection period, if it gets extended, I need to know, because then I have to update the calendar reminder to let those clients know, hey, you're actually here for your final date. Same thing with closing. If the closing gets pushed, I need to be able to update that calendar reminder that, hey, your now projected closing is this day instead of this day. Same thing with earnest money. I've had a real big problem with people not filling in where earnest money is being held at and not how many days it's due to that company or wherever it's getting held by the binding date. I had one that was completely blank.
That's
I
an
didn't know
incomplete.
how many days or where it was going.
That's an
And it makes
incomplete
it very
contract. Then.
hard. Yeah, it's it makes it very hard when I'm trying to schedule calendar reminders or I'm trying to call title companies to get copies of those EMs for Skyslope. It makes it almost impossible because then I'm just chasing around trying to find stuff.
Wow. Well, this goes hand in hand with what Catherine has brought up, and honestly, a lot of the shift that's happening with the team that I'm actually very excited about. Because your solution was help, and guess what? You already know because of the meetings we've been having this week. The help is on the way, and it is in the works. I know that one thing we're doing to help with this is we're going to bring back the form. We thought that giving agents a little bit more liberty with the assumption that they would communicate, because nobody likes being told what to do, even if they want to be told what to do. Nobody likes because, right? We love the illusion that we're always the star of our own show, that we're always in control. When any one of us, if we have an ounce of humility, knows there's very little in our life that we actually control. Most of it's right here. So we are going to bring back that form where when agents come in, will have to submit this form. And if they don't submit the form, it's not going anywhere. It's not happening. So I know that should alleviate a bunch of the issues because it'll have things like the title company address, earnest money, right? We're working on building out that form. I know that we're going to be updating and making it also abundantly more clear, show a bit of humility. It may be in the team contract, but the team contract's more than one page. There's a good chance that after they signed it once, they'll never look at it again. And I don't even blame them. I think most of us don't go back and revisit old policies and procedures. We typically don't. So our goal is that we're going to make some bullet points for these policy standards and procedures that are super easy. Here's with your TC. This is what you need to be doing. Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. And coupling that with the form, the hope is that severely reduces the amount of lack of communication, missing information, and things like that. And it'll allow us as team leaders to hold people to an accountability because there is something clear. Now you can't say it was muddled or it was a gray area. It's not. It's black and white. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. If you're not doing it, we need to talk about why and take action from there. So Irene, we hear you. As you know, because you've been in the meetings, it is in the works. It is on the way. And for everybody listening, this is not an isolated problem. If you're running a team, running a brokerage, maybe you're a TC too. How do you get your agents to, or your partners or whatever, your clients to submit their documents, completed documents, submit your completed documents in a timely manner? And how do you make sure they keep you updated for those that are supposed to be keeping updated? How do you have them do that? I'd love to know your strategies, your attempts, because this is a very common problem throughout our whole industry. And honestly, if we all did a bit better across the board, I think clients would have a better perception of us too. We'd look a lot more professional. I think we'd have a lot less mistakes because we were consistent on time. Irene, what are some of your favorite moments of the week?
So before I jump to my favorite moments, my third one on that was Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Chris is in trouble because I need him to start utilizing me more. He's over there on vacation and doing docs, and I caught him sending docs out that I'm supposed to be sending out for him. So he's in trouble.
Chris.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I get paid to do, especially him. He is my best customer, and he still fails to use me.
Dang.
He's your best customer, but he needs to be your bestest customer.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Exactly. So he's in trouble because, he was on vacation. And even though I know I was bugging him while he was on vacation about stuff, he could have easily just texted me that he needed something done, and I would have did it. No questions asked. So he's in trouble.
He won't even unmute himself. He's like, I'm going to type in the private chat.
He's going to act like he didn't even hear it.
That's right. He said, I had 5 minutes and my clients were signing at title as I did them.
Don't go in the private chat. I see you.
All right. Well, now how about favorite moments, Irene?
So favorite moments with some agent interaction that I had. And I know she usually is on here. I don't think she's on here today, but Kim, I will call her out by name. She did a closing. The file was perfect. She got me all the docs that I needed. And with it being a different MLS, she pretty much had to get me the MLS sheet versus where I could just go in and usually get it myself. She had it to me like right after it closed. Same thing with title company. She was on title about getting me the docs same day. I had her whole SkySlope file done in one day of docs. And then on closing, same thing. It was in like an hour after closing. She had me all the docs. SkySlope was done, and she was literally, I think, paid the next day.
Dang,
Nice.
Kim leading by
phenomenal.
example. That is awesome. Shout out to you, Kim. Way to crush it.
She rocked that. And then also, since he's our big title guy, to Justin. Chris had a closing this week, and Justin had me every single document that I needed to close that file out same day. So it's been awesome when I get things like that, because it's so much less stressful when I'm getting all my docs to close everything out. I'm not having to wait on agents to get me completed docs just because they're not following the whole putting me in a group text or anything along those lines. So I can't reach out to that client directly. I'm having to reach out to them, and then from them it goes to the client, and then from that client to them, and then to me. And then if they just forget, it's delaying me. Well, then I got SkySlope emailing me talking about update this, update that, has it closed? And I'm very like, yes, it's closed. Stop emailing me.
I love it. And Justin is amazing. You know what's awesome is Justin was messaging me last night, and he said, hey, I want to get more active with, interacting with agents, because I realized that, title companies are basically invisible most of the time. And I'm an advocate that no member of a transaction should be invisible. All of their presence, I think, should be felt. And I think the client should be made aware of who's doing what, not overbogging them with details, but they need to know the value of a title company, a title attorney, a processor. They need to know the loan officers. We need to educate them, teach them, cultivate them. It increases everybody's value when we are able to show that value, but it also empowers our clients. And so Justin came to me and he's like, hey man, I basically want to do a post asking people what they dislike about title companies, because I want to make sure that there's not things we could be doing that we just don't know about, because there are issues, right? Justin and Ben and all of them over at Bell and Alexander have always been very receptive to my feedback, because I've told them many times and they've always received it. But I've told other title companies and they're basically like, nah, we'd rather stay invisible. And I'm like, what?
I think that's also a difference in agents and how they perceive the people that are working with them. So you either see them as a partner, which your TC, your title company should be a partner, which means you work together to get a deal closed, or you see them as a piece of leverage, like you do a VA. So you just shove it to them and you're like, oh, well, that's my leverage. I shouldn't have to do anything. People get confused with the word leverage. I feel like when we say, oh, use this person for leverage, get you a virtual assistant so you've got leverage, it doesn't mean hand it all off so that you absolutely have nothing to do with it. It means somebody else taking charge and you're able to follow up to see where things are at and they keep you on top of it. And that to me is a partner. And I think a lot of people fail to understand what that means for TCs and lenders, title companies, whomever it is, home inspectors that save your butts. We don't partner with them. We expect them to do a job and we back off and go focus on other things when it takes 2 seconds to check in and say, hey, how is it going? Or how is this working? Or where are we at for here?
Yeah, and you can really see it when you've got somebody like a good title person or a good lender that stands out. Because I've got all the deals that we've got right now, I think only a few are with Justin, and it's seeing how he operates and how he communicates. And then some of these other title companies that I can't even get a hold of, it makes you really appreciate the one that goes over and beyond for you. Because Justin I can literally text him and he's like that. And then there's other ones I have to call and they can't even get me EM because they don't even know. They're like, well, I don't have any kind of copy to send you. And I'm like, just send me the wire instructions. That's all I need. I just need you to send me the copy of where the wire came in, or just fill out this form that you got it. And 9 times out of 10, it takes 24, 48 hours to get that. I can send that to Justin, and it's like within an hour, he's got it done. So it makes you appreciate it when you've got someone that's really good, and then you see all of our agents using other people that aren't as reliable as some of the ones that we have. Our lenders, our home inspectors, our title company. Makes it a lot harder trying to get stuff when it's not as good.
I agree. And, I think one of the important things that I see is a huge issue within our industry, and really it's within people, but we'll keep it focused on our industry, is that they make decisions based off of feelings. They don't treat their business as if it's a business. They treat it as an emotional roller coaster. They treat their partners. I mean, I've asked agents, why do you use that lender? Well, he's nice. Okay. I'm sorry that. Okay, so does Walmart hand out $1 million checks because people are nice?
They sure don't, because I'd take one if so.
That's right. We all would.
I like what Paul Conti said on Wednesdays when he said, if you're working with a loan officer and they say, well, we can close deals on time. Well, that's your job. So what else can you do for me? And that is like, there's certain things that we should be able to hold people to a standard, and those people should hold themselves to a standard, but then we should appreciate those that do go above and beyond. And I think that's a societal issue as well, is people are not very good at appreciating the small things that people do for us. We're looking for this big, huge thing where they just took all this stress away, because we're always focused on either the big problem or the big solution or the big, yay, right? The big positive, but nobody focuses on the smaller things, simple things like that, like getting the docs to me within a few hours after closing so I can complete it same day is a huge piece of helping agents getting paid quicker as well.
Yeah.
Even though that's something small, and yes, he should be doing that. Unfortunately, not a lot of people do. So that should be a huge positive in the person that you're working with.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, you're breaking up a bit.
Oh no, she froze.
I know, this is the most talkative she's been, and it's
Quick,
time
turn your camera off, save your bandwidth.
Yeah, that might help, Irene. If you even hear us.
If you hear us talking.
Yeah.
I just love the face right now.
I'm back.
You're back.
What was the guy with the fro?
Just smile.
And the glasses?
You're not back anymore. Oh.
Maybe.
She heard me.
Turn your camera off so you can save that bandwidth.
If you heard that.
Okay, now.
Turn your camera off.
Oh, she just said, I'm out.
That's not the.
You want me to save bandwidth? Let me show you how.
What we were talking about.
But seriously, I think the partnerships and things like that are really important. And I see agents choose a brokerage. Why are you at that brokerage? Oh, well, the people at the brokerage are nice. They can be nice at the brokerage and outside of the brokerage. Oh, I'm friends with them. If you're friends with them, they're going to want you to do what's best for your business. Like, people make really, really poor decisions because they're making emotional ones rather than data-driven ones, rather than business-driven ones. And then they wonder why their business isn't thriving. They wonder why their partner drops the ball. Well, you never had standards to begin with. Of course your partner dropped the ball. Every one of my partners knows what the standards are. They know. And then if they drop the ball, if I drop the ball, we know we can go to each other and be like, that's not what we agreed on. That's not what we said we would deliver. Agents, what do you get from your broker? Well, he's always there for me. Is he? Are you using him? What advice are they giving you? Like, and are they coming to you, whether one-on-one or as a group, if you will? Are they actively trying to help grow your business? Or are they just kind of hiding out in their office hoping that they don't get bothered by you today? That's so different. He's always available. That's nice and all, but what are they doing actively? Not passively. What are they doing actively? Oh, well, there's a bunch of agents in my office. Listen, I've got a downline that's bigger than some of these brokerages. And I'm actively every single day saying, how can I give and serve more? Not, man, I hope nobody asks for anything today. And your partners should be actively trying to build your business, and you should be actively bringing them business. And you guys do that together, and you're going to thrive. Paul Conti, man, I mean, that's part of my, what are you saying, favorite moments of the week? So my issues was lack standards, lack of focus. Because we have had lax standards on the team, I thought that would enable agents to be more focused on what they wanted to be. Because that's what happens for me, right? It's like, if you're not constraining me, then I can focus on what I want to focus on. But I've seen the exact opposite happen. Because we don't have those standards, agents are getting lost. They don't have a foundation. I need to be operating at this level with these standards. And and now I'm seeing we need the standards to help them focus, which was, for me, it was very surprising. So obviously you guys know the solution is what we're working on, raising the bar, implementing. We're going to test out our first ever, if you will, State of the Union. I'm actually pretty stoked for that. We'll see how it goes. You know how it is. You get all hyped about one thing and then it goes and you're like, oh, well, that was terrible. Or it's really great. We're going to find out. But my favorite moments, first and foremost, with Paul Conti, man, he just brought so much truth, so much wisdom. And then one of my favorite things after that is Paul and I got on a phone call the next morning after he spoke, and we said, we're going to create an offer exclusively for agents in the Carbon Club. We said, for 5 agents in the next 48 hours, if you confirm, 5 agents only, we will put you under Paul Conti's wing, and he will show you how to do how he helped the last agent 10 extra listings, 10 more listings in 4 months. Anybody watching, you probably don't like listings, but if you're one of the few agents out there who like listings, tell me what 10 more listings would mean for you and your business. Leave a comment. So
at $0 per listing, by the way.
Yeah,
this isn't some paid marketing lead
no
generation.
costs, no
crap.
fees, no additional splits.
Completely
Partnership.
free.
A partnership with Paul Conti. So he said, I'm going to take on 5 more partners where we work together to get extra listings, which is pretty amazing. Then within 5 minutes, not 48 hours, 5 minutes, those 5 slots filled up. So I called Paul and I was like, all right, Paul, I honestly thought it was going to take longer for more people to sign up. I was like, should we open up another 5 slots? And then he's like, all right, let's do it. Well, about 10 minutes later, all of those 5 slots were gone. And then we had people after that still signing up. So I'm stoked. I'm stoked for these opportunities, because it's like you get someone great like Paul who says, I want to. He even came in and he said, I'm interviewing for a job. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm interviewing for a job with you, and I'm going to prove to you why I'm valuable and will build your business and make you more money. Not how great I am, not that, I have excellent communication, all the things like Catherine Walt were saying that are your job, and we should assume. You shouldn't tell us that that you do your job. That shouldn't be I will communicate with your clients. Were you not going to begin with? Like, was that? It's like, I don't understand. Is that supposed to be a bonus feature? Like, so I'm really excited that we could put together an offer for agents in the Carbon Club to see how that goes. And then as we build that out, we can create a little extra program. Accountability groups, first week of planning has concluded, and it is awesome just seeing people lay out their goals. We had such great results last time, and I'm so excited. We had even more people sign up, which is a wonderful sign when you run a program and you have more people sign up than last time and you have reoccurring people. Great signs. That means new people see and feel the value, and then those had received the value and came back for more. So, and then I'm excited. I'm excited for the growth of the team and the standards that we're raising, because I really think it's going to bring a lot of value and clarity, which all of us need more of. So those are my things. And it's been an awesome, busy, jam-packed week, but it has been, man, it's been awesome. It really has. So anybody watching, I'm curious, if you're on a team, you run a team, or again, brokerage, because really a brokerage is just a really big team in many cases. How do you approach standards and procedures, and how do you enforce them? I think the enforce is the real word right there. Anybody can write something on a piece of paper, but how do you get them to implement, and how do you enforce it when they don't? I'd really love to hear from you, because I think we all have different takes and different approaches, and there's a lot we can learn from each other. But I think that would be a really interesting concept for us to talk for, the next 10 or 15 minutes about is, what do we think about implementation, enforcing? Like, there's a lot of different theories and ideas and processes. We've all had our own variations of how we do things. So I'd really love to see anybody who wants to talk, what do you think about some of the strategies behind getting an agent to implement something? What do you think about that? How do you approach that? Whoever wants to take it away first.
I think that the word enforce isn't necessarily the best, because it's a higher standard of accountability is what you're holding them to. So you're not enforcing anything. You are asking that if you join a team, you yourself are wanting a higher standard of accountability. You want someone to be a little bit more on your ass so that you can grow. I mean, that's why a lot of people join a team. A lot of people say, oh, well, I joined the team because they give me leads. Bullshit. Because a team is not there to provide all of the leads that are going to grow your business. They're still going to expect you to bring in your own leads. They're still going to expect you to do your own prospecting. They're still going to expect you to do your own cold calling and follow-ups, right? So yes, while the leads can help project your business where you want it to be quicker, that's not the reason for being on a team. Being on a team is so that you can have that higher point of accountability. Someone who will tell you you're screwing up. You're not doing what you said you're going to do. Why not? Because in this business, if you are alone and you're doing it on your own, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that mentality to kick their own selves in the butt to get going, right? We say we will. Oh, well, I know I need this because I've got to make money. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there complaining because you don't have anything, you can't pay your bills, and you don't understand why. Because you didn't have anybody to help hold you accountable. We're hard on ourselves when we screw up. We're not necessarily hard on ourselves in the process of screwing up. That's the difference between having someone that can help keep you accountable. So being on a team, you expect to have that higher level of accountability, and you are okay with having different thoughts and different criteria to help get you where you want to be. And then if you're not okay with it, which is fine, right? Or you want to dial it down because you don't want to be at that level. You're tired of listening to people because you can't hold your own self to that standard. Then you shouldn't be on a team. But to me, that's what a team is supposed to be.
Yeah. I think there's a... Go ahead, Irene. I know you were muting and unmuting.
Justin coming in, and I was bragging about him earlier. He popped in too late.
I texted him. I actually texted him. I said, we're bragging on you today. We want you to know how much we appreciate you and all that you do. I mean, people have their title companies come to their live streams. Look at that. Justin shows up like this. He's awesome. Welcome, Ray. Always love having you here, brother.
Ray?
Yeah. No, Kat, I think you bring up a lot of good points, and you guys hear me say it every single week. What is the point of making goals if you're not willing to be held accountable? Well, I'm just, I'm going to go on vacation in 3 weeks. So were you planning on not doing anything for the next 3 weeks? And then when you get back, were you not planning on doing? Well, I've just had a busy week. Your accountability is to what you can do for your business that positively impacts it based off what you can do, not what you think you can do. What you can do right now. If that means that your mom is sick for the day and you've only got 30 minutes to catch up on contracts, great. That's your accountability for the day. That's okay. That's okay. The accountability is based off of what you can feasibly do to build yourself and your business. And I struggle, and maybe it's just because most accountability groups are just pushy salesmen. Like, let's be real here, right? Most accountability groups are a team leader saying, you guys need to sell more houses so I can make more money. They won't say it, but that's really what it is. You guys do a contest then, because that is what a contest is for. It's competitive. It's about money. It's about winning. But an accountability group is about growth and development. That's an accountability group. But we all know at most brokerages, at most teams, most whatever you want to call it, the accountability groups are just salesmen pushing for more numbers. And maybe that's why agents struggle with them. And accountability is because they don't even know what it means. What does it mean to be accountable? Because I think many of them in their heads, and I'm learning this because I didn't know this. I'm learning as I see the accountability groups, agents thinking they can only put business sales related goals. That tells me they've been led to believe that that's all that matters. When I think we all here know, absolutely, you need to make money. Absolutely, you need to sell houses. Absolutely. But you won't do that if you yourself are not growing, if you yourself are not developing. And so I just think you make a great point, honestly, Kat. Just what's the point of having goals if you won't be held accountable to them? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I don't have time to join an accountability group. What do you mean you don't have time? You don't have time to be held accountable to your goals to pay your bills. That baffles me, because you've had time for a bunch of other things that don't help you pay your bills, that don't help you grow. Every great leader, every rich businessman has a group of accountability. They have probably weekly board meetings where they're held accountable and where they hold others accountable. Most of them, if not all of them, have mentors, coaches, whatever you want to call, some insert fancy title here. Literally, Tony Robbins is a great example. Look at some of the people he's coached. They are some of the most successful people in existence. And some of them even done video testimonials for him. And if those people who are a lot wealthier than all of us still need accountability, still need growth, then what the heck is your excuse? What the heck's your excuse? Walter, what are your thoughts on, we'll switch out the word enforcement because I agree with Kat, and higher level accountability.
I think the word standard makes good sense. And if you, especially in a team dynamic, right? If you think about a team, each team member is an individual car on the highway, right? The focus of the team is we're all going in the same direction. We're all traveling towards the same destination. Now, some of those team members are driving a little faster, a little slower based on their own skills, their own capabilities. The standards are the guardrails on the side of the highway to keep everyone moving in the same direction towards the same destination so that we all arrive at whatever success looks like based on the standards that were set. So you can't really operate without them. I mean, you could look at every successful business. You could look at every successful military team. You could look at every successful real estate team, anything in the corporate world. Every successful entity has standards. These are the marching orders. This is the right, left and right lateral limits, right? Just play within these lanes as you move as fast or as slow as you need to accomplish your goals. But these are the lanes we play within. Without them, it's chaos, right? People are like, I think we found that out when you said earlier, I thought loosening the reins would allow them to focus, but really what happened is we loosened the reins and there's so much area for them to go that nobody is in line in one singular focus moving in the same direction effectively. So the standards are critical.
What were you saying, Kat?
I said some people are off-roadings.
Yeah, right. Somebody out there mud bogging, like spinning donuts, going nowhere. I'm like, you're not gonna get anywhere spinning donuts in the mud.
I think that's a hard thing for me as a leader who doesn't want to be a dad to them.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to disrespect their independence, their value and their worth. But then at the same time, it's like we do a disservice to each other when we pretend that the illusion of absolute freedom produces the results that we want. Absolute freedom produces pretty much nothing. because it is obedience, it is respect, it is diligence, it is commitment, it is boundaries that allow us, like you said, Walter, if there's no road, there's no direction.
Yep.
And you can't gauge success. I can go down that highway and say, okay, I've gone 3 miles in this direction, which means I am getting closer to that destination. But if you're lost in the woods, you have no idea. You can't track your progress. You can't, Walter, don't you start with any survival stuff. We're not talking about that. Okay. Yeah, it's like I'm guessing that's Ray. He says the difference of 20 steps in one direction is 20 steps in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I entirely agree. And again, that's a hard thing, is how do you find that balance? But one of the big things I have to learn is that, we built the Carbon Club for everybody who didn't want to be on a team, but wanted a lot of the benefits of being on a team. And I have to remember, okay, they're two separate things. If they're on the team, there is a greater level, a higher standard, as you said, Kat, of accountability. And if they're not okay with that, that's fine. Let's get them where they belong then, where they want to be. And that's the Carbon Club then, where they have more voluntary, more optional things on the table for them.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And
definitely
it's an interesting
see it.
dynamic there. I think we'd all agree that even amongst the Carbon Club, those agents that are succeeding at a higher level are the ones that are holding themselves to a higher standard and asking for the accountability to keep them focused.
Yeah.
Even if they're not on a team dynamic, right? It's the societal construct we live within. There are rules, there are standards, there are guidelines in everything we do. There is no place in any civil society where you can just make it up as you go, do whatever the hell you want, irregardless of everything else around you. Right? And there are standards and there are accountability weaved into the fabric of our entire life. Those who tend to embrace those things and work well within them are the ones that you see being successful in the world.
That's what my bigger brain over here was saying, because he's listening to all this. He was pretty much like, the people that are doing good are waking up every day accountable and wanting to do better because they're already good, but they want to be the best. So people like that are already accountable are just doing better. But if you aren't waking up and being accountable, then you have nothing to pretty much be better at or be the best at, because you're not pushing yourself.
Yeah, you have no frame of reference to say, how do I get better now?
Yep. And that comes with I think that comes with a personal perspective as well, to how you see yourself and what you are okay with and what you're not okay with. So constructive criticism, which is inside other people helping you be accountable. For a lot of people, that's a huge pain point, right? For a lot of people, when you say, oh, well, I thought that you were going to do this, and you immediately, oh, well, blah, 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 right? An excuse comes out. To me, that's a trigger. That means that you're not ready to allow people to tell you how they can help you so that you can be better. You would rather remain closed off and not accept that you screwed up, even though you already know it, which is why you immediately open your mouth and let an excuse come out. And so that's
don't talk about me like that.
So that's the reason why.
Don't bring me into this.
But it's you're doing better. But it's a person. It's personal. And I went through it too, right? Like I went through wanting to be a leader, right? Even when I worked in the medical field. And I wanted to help people and I wanted to train people, but I was so freaking anal about how it was. And you had to do it the way I did. And you had to train the way that I trained it. And I didn't understand why you weren't picking up what I was doing. Like, well, I do it this way. You should be able to do it this way. And I actually had someone who pushed back and was like, but this isn't how I think. This is how I think. And this is how I do it, but it's still getting done. And I was like, oh, really? Well, I didn't. So that to me was a huge eye opener because I allowed someone to give me constructive criticism. And for the first time, I actually took it into myself and realized okay, I mean, well, she is getting it done. She's just doing it slightly different, but she's still getting it done, and it's being done 100% correct. So that is something that I had to work in within myself, that I know that a lot of people, if not most of us, have to work on at some point in our lives, is being okay to hear the things that people are saying and then deciding if what they're saying is true and maybe it is something that we need to work on, or if they're coming from a different pain point of themselves. But I feel like a lot of
Mhm.
people, especially within the Carbon Club and the team, and a lot of people, to be honest, that I've met within EXP, are not there to hurt you. They really are there to help you. You just have to open up your ears and hear what they have to say, and then analyze it yourself before making a step forward, before giving that excuse, before reacting, as I've said before, reacting to what someone is saying to you. Take it in internally and think about it.
It's funny is we're talking about a lot of self-awareness right now. Being aware of where you're at, being aware of what you're willing to do and take action on and what you're not. I think we lie to ourselves a lot, but also being able to identify those problems that we face. It's a really silly but actually relevant example is I post motivational quotes. Some of them are from random historical figures, Winston Churchill, Mark Twain. Every single one of those people have had problems. They've done wrong things. They've made wrong choices. I need to emphasize that. Now, at the end of the day, the wisdom of the message is relevant and is still relevant. And if you take it and you apply it, your life will be better off. And most people who see my motivational quotes, they go, "Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome, inspirational. I needed that, a good reminder." Oh, like that type of attitude. And then you get those people who come in and go, "You know what? But Winston Churchill, he said that one racist thing that one time." And you're like, "Great. I'm not telling you to be Winston Churchill, buddy." I'm not telling you to be, but you're so focused on why you can't be better that you have to find the flaws in others.
Yeah.
You have to. Go ahead, Walter.
We are, as a human species, hardwired to focus on the negative. I mean, this goes all the way back to caveman days, right? You had to walk out of the cave and go, what's going to kill me today? I have to be on the lookout for this, and the falling boulders off the hill, and the sun will burn my skin, and the rattlesnakes will bite me. There's no cure. From the beginning of our existence, survival mechanisms have told us focus on the negative so we know how to avoid them. And even with all of this, the position we find ourselves in now, with all the comforts and the technologies, and our life is so much easier. That's hardwired into most people. They focus on the negative first. You have to proactively change your thought process to focus on positive. And again, every single great success, they learn how to focus on the positive.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth pursuing.
I entirely agree.
My better half over here spitting knowledge. He said that that's pretty much people's first instinct is survival. I mean, if we don't learn from having, here, you say it. Say it.
So we wouldn't continue to evolve as people if we didn't focus on the negative. Because if we didn't care about something being bad, we'd never move towards something being better. That's all.
Spitting facts
but
over
I mean,
here.
that's why we're like,
Yeah.
Because caveman, if he wasn't focused on the fact he's cold, he would have never figured out fire. It's kind of like it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Facts.
Love it.
I just
Coming
can't
in there
translate
like
them
that.
correctly.
That's right. That's right.
I keep trying to tell him I'm going to bring him into it, and I'm just going to do TC, and he can do real estate, and then because
we agree.
Facts over here. And
that's the important thing is that nobody's saying to deny the negative. That is horrible. It's acknowledge it exists. Like he just said, I'm cold. But the problem is most people say I'm cold, and that's what they stay as, cold. And they wait for someone to make them warm, or they literally die. That is the truth, and history has shown that a million times.
Yep.
Versus I'm cold. Okay. Now, what am I going to do about it?
Mhm.
I'm broke. Okay. What am I going to do about it? Well, the government will send me a check. Well, someone else will provide for my bills. Will they? And can you trust that? And even more so, are you happy with that? Deep down inside, are you happy being valueless? We find our fulfillment when we thrive through these struggles, when we overcome the battles. That's when we feel like champions. That's when we feel like kings and queens, is when we conquer something. We better believe that the first time that caveman developed fire, oh my gosh, there was not a prouder moment in his life. And I know all of us here feel that way. Every time we face that issue and we conquer it, we grow. We have just become more capable. Our brain has realized, oh, we weren't defeated. We just hadn't found the solution yet. It's amazing. All right, we're at 9 o'clock. Everybody, what is one mountain, problem, giant issue? What's making you cold right now? Type it in the chat. Leave it in the comments. Let us know, because maybe we've got a resource or a solution, or maybe someone watching will see this and have a comment or whatever, because that's what we do, is we go, okay, here's the problem, like we do every day, right? We always say, what's the problem? And what are you doing to fix it? And then we celebrate the wins. 3 really critical things that I think all of us should have in our life, even our personal lives. So thank you, everybody who tuned in. We do this every week, Friday, 8 a.m. Central. Sorry, 8 a.m. Central. And sometimes we have special guests on the show dropping some serious wisdom, and I loved it. So again, let us know, what's the big problem you're facing right now? What are you doing to solve it? And you know what? Do you need some help? Let us know. See you all later. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.